of life from your friends at the Seventh-day Adventist Church by visiting www.healthylifeinfo.com.
Forget the fad diets and exercise madness. Your pathway to health is as close as your television. McDougall MD is designed with your maximum health in mind. Dr. John McDougall knows what it takes to stay healthy. No gimmicks, just 20 years of experience in nutrition and wellness. On McDougall MD, learn how to eat right and exercise properly. Discover how your body reacts to different foods and how to stay away from toxic substances. It is possible to maintain your optimum weight and health for a lifetime. Many people have benefited from Dr. McDougall's dietary wisdom. It's not just another television show. McDougall MD is changing the way people live. There's no reason why you shouldn't look and feel great, too. To find out more, go online at lifestyle.org. Your own success story is closer than you think. McDougall MD. It'll do your health some good.
I'm sure you want me to ask this question to Story. I want to ask him, Story, how much milk is good for you, and how much milk could be bad for you? What's the amount?
Well, you know, 2 to 3 servings or 2 to 3 cups a day is what's good for you, and that's what's recommended by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Pyramid. 2 to 3 cups a day.
Not much.
Not a lot. That'll give you your amount of B12 you need. It'll give you about 900 grams of calcium, milligrams of calcium rather, not grams.
Yeah.
Milligrams of calcium. It'll give you a good amount of your riboflavin. It'll give you a good source of it's a good source of zinc. It'll give you a lot of those good things. It's a high quality protein, and so we don't need a lot.
When you hear so many people believing that it's not good, there must be some downsides that are legitimate.
Well, they are, and if you drink a gallon of milk, and I know a lot of I've known people that do drink a gallon of milk a day, and if you're eating like a half a gallon of ice cream at a time or something like that. Now, that could be a problem for the saturated fat as well as the, just the amount of sugar or the amount of calories. So that's a downside. But some of the downsides that are published in some of the spasmodic literature out there that you read now and then. It's not regular scientific literature. Dr.
It's
Kim,
a site that you can almost tell.
Some of these people that were talking against milk are not circuits that speak in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, or write the regular in there, and they're not speakers at the American Dietetic Association. They have their own little meetings and little cliques. But anyway, back to that study that you mentioned earlier. These rats that were given this casein were getting not only lots of casein equal to about 1.5 gallons of milk, not just 3 cups that human would take, but they also fed them with a aflatoxin, which is carcinogenic. Now, if they'd take out the aflatoxin out of that diet, they wouldn't have been able to see anything for a long time. And so these studies are flawed that are mentioned. So all this anti-milk slogans out there and all this information out there, most of it is not scientific.
But if a person chooses not to have milk, let's be honest, there are ways and means.
Then get an alternative that is equal to milk. The same amount of protein, calcium, vitamin B12, get your zinc, get your iodine from other sources. But that is not easy, because most people are not going to be eating 6 to 8 cups of cooked spinach to get the same equivalent that's in milk, because only 5% of the calcium in spinach is absorbed, whereas maybe 39 or 40%.
So what you're saying is that
is absorbed in milk.
There may be $1 million, but if you can only get your hands on a small amount of it, it's not so valuable.
It's very difficult.
Let's ask this question. What's good about milk? If you were to list on your fingers, these are the good things, and you've mentioned a lot of them already, but what would you say are the reasons that people should consider milk as a possible dietary component?
I've done a number of analyzations of people's diets, and people who have dairy products in their diet meet the RDA or the DRIs. That means meet the recommendations that are given in the area of protein, calcium, vitamin B12, and so on. And those that don't use milk don't have the B12, they don't have enough B12, they don't have enough calcium, they're low in iodine, they're low in zinc, and that's just almost straight across the board. And that doesn't mean you can't have a total vegetarian diet, eat a total vegetarian diet, and get these nutrients. But most of the time, they're not doing, because milk is a convenient food. It's it's a superfood, it's a caloric, it's a nutrient-dense food in a little package, it's easy to drink, you don't have to drink cups and cups of green leafy vegetables, which you should do, but not to just get your calcium alone.
Didn't the Adventist Health Study show that a total plant-based diet was better, though? Hasn't that shown that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They studied the lacto-ova vegetarians, and all the good parts.
But I mean the new study. Isn't the new study showing that
we don't have the results of that yet?
But the preliminary findings, aren't they showing that they have a lower LDH, low density lipoprotein?
Yes, they have a lower. They may, and they also may have a lower weight and lower blood pressure. But are these medically significant? We don't know yet. We won't know for another 5 or 6 years. But there's so far absolutely no studies with large enough numbers to show that the total vegetarian diet, or no milk and eggs, is a healthier diet. In fact, there's some aspects of it are very unhealthy. But the problem with the statistics is the numbers of those who died of total vegetarians, those who were studied were very small, and then of course those who died in this study of small numbers was very small, and they are not statistically significant. So we just can't quote those studies to be, to have integrity and to be honest and to trying to use evidence-based medicine. The evidence is not there yet.
So the bulk of the information that comes about a vegetarian diet, if I hear you correctly, has been gathered and garnered not from total plant-based vegetarians, but from lacto-vegetarians. Is that true?
That's exactly true, and be sure that they're not interchanging and giving benefits to one diet that's not there.
So you can't use studies done on one subgroup of vegetarians and apply it necessarily to all types of vegetarians.
I'd invite you to go to the internet and go to Medline or Medline Plus or PubMed and type in B12 and just find out how many studies that they have done on total vegetarians, and there's literally hundreds, showing their deficiencies in many of these nutrients.
Now, just the last, I want to just put this in. Some people like to eat fish or meat. What's your advice to them on the vegetarian scenario?
Well, of course, if you ate fish or meat, you wouldn't be a vegetarian, but that's okay. Eating small amounts of these things, probably, according to the Adventist Health Study, small amounts of fish or small amounts of meat in the diet probably is not as important or dangerous to your health as low amounts of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and legumes.
So there you've heard it from our nutrition expert. Take it and use it the way you see fit.
This program was brought to you by the Hope Channel Network, thanks to the generous support of viewers like you. In the United States and Canada, call 1-888-4-HOPE-TV. That's 888-446-7388.